Abstract, a brain-computer interface, BCI, is a novel communication system that translates brain signals into a control signal. Now with the appearance of the commercial EEG headsets and mobile smart platforms, tablet, smartphone, it is possible to develop the mobile BCI system, which can greatly improve the life quality of patients suffering from motor disease, such as amyotrophic lateral sclerosis, ALS, multiple sclerosis, cerebral palsy, and head trauma. This study adopted a 14-channel Emotiv Epoc headset and Microsoft Surface Pro 3 to realize a dialing system, which was represented by 4x3 matrices of alphanumeric characters. The performance of the online portable dialing system based on P300 is satisfying. The average classification accuracy reaches 88.75 plus or minus 10.57% in lab, and 73.75 plus or minus 16.94% in metro, while the information transfer rate ITR reaches 7.17 plus or minus 1.80 and 5.05 plus or minus 2.17 bit/min respectively. This means the commercial EEG headset and tablet has good prospect in developing real-time BCI system in realistic environments. Introduction. Brain-computer interfaces, BCI, are novel communication systems that enable a direct connection between the brain and a computer through translating brain signals into control signals. Keys could restore some of the lost communication channels for severely disabled people. In recent years, since invasive keys are implanted directly into the gray matter of the brain during neurosurgery with high risk, non-invasive BCI systems based on electroencephalogram, EEG, signals are developed quickly because of their safety and convenience, especially the BCI. Based on P300 wave of visual evoked potentials, VEP1. It has been used widely because it is easy to elicit, consistent and needs little initial training. 3. Many applications based on P300 have been developed, including P300 base speller 4. Smart home applications 5, lies detection 6, and sending emails over the internet browsers 7. One of the most successful BCI applications is P300 speller developed by Farwell and Donkin 8. However, the existing P300-based keys have numerous problems and obstacles. 9, 10, such as the high cost of EEG acquisition equipment and their lack of mobility. Especially, more progress should be made in resolving many of the challenges to move BCI into daily usages under realistic conditions. The recent advances in technology have made some commercially available EEG headsets inexpensive, and it is possible to wear a lightweight mobile and wireless EEG headset recording EEG under realistic conditions. Examples of EEG headset that are suitable for daily usage are ThinkGear, NeuroSky Inc., Inobio, Starlab Inc., BR8 Plus, Brain Rhythm Inc., Emotiv EEG Headset, Emotiv Systems, Inc., G.Nautilus, G.Tech Medical Engineering GmbH, and so on. Many studies have proved the efficacy of these consumer-level EEG headsets in cognitive neuroscience, neuroimaging, and BCI. Domains 11-12. In this study, the Emotiv Epoc is selected for its low price, mobility, and high quality of collected data. Notably, the researchers have gained stronger techniques and computing power that basically fits into a pocket. This has happened for consumer-grade, off-the-shelf devices such as the smartphones and tablets. The researchers in BCI have got some achievements based on the mobile platform 13, 14, 15, 16. In this paper we present the design, implementation and evaluation of the dialing system that combines the Emotiv and Microsoft Surface Pro3. It is affordable, easy to use and has high mobility. We build an online mobile platform for stimulus delivery, data acquisition and processing with a focus on the dialing system based on P300 speller, and also investigated the feasibility of off-the-shelf, consumer-grade equipment in a neuroscience context in lab and metro. The purpose of this paper is to develop a high mobile BCI system and bring BCI technique into our daily life and improve life quality of disabled people. The initial results look promising, showing that the portable BCI is capable of processing raw neural signals and classifying the P300 with high accuracy. 2. Methodology. A. Participants. 20 healthy subjects, 17 males and 3 females, age between 22 to 25 years, were recruited in this study. Participants were not suffering from any neurological disorders or mental health problems, and were not using any type of medications. This study was fully consistent with the fundamental principles of the Declaration of Helsinki. Each participant read and signed an informed consent before the experiment. B. EEG equipment. In this study, a 14-channel Emotiv EEG headset, Emotiv Epoc, was employed to implement the experiment as shown. In left panel of Figure 1, the available channels AF3, F7, F3, FC5, T7, P7, O1, O2, P8, T8, FC6, F4, F8, AF4 based on the International 10 to 20 system were depicted in the right panel of Figure 1. The sample rate was 128 Hz. In addition, because the sensor connection quality had great influence on EEG signal and identification results, the test bench status pane was used to monitor the neuro headset sensor's contact quality. The BCI 2000 installed in tablet, it can present the visual stimulus and acquire raw signal data from the Emotiv device through a source module contributed by Griffin Millsap. C. BCI system architecture. The BCI system addressed in this paper was based on the P300 speller introduced by Farwell and Donkin 18. The system architecture was shown in Figure 2. The BCI 2000 was deployed on the Surface Pro 3, which was responsible for the stimulation presentation, EEG. Processing and targets identification. The visual stimulus was presented on the screen of Surface Pro 312 LCD monitor. It was consisted of 4 times 3 matrices of alphanumeric characters and enabled users to spell a cell phone number. The rows and columns of the matrix flickered successively and randomly, with a defined duration time between the consecutive flashes. The interstimulus interval. D. Experiment setup. To evaluate the performance of the portable P300 dialing system based on mobile platform under real conditions, the experiment was completed in lab and metro. The experimental procedure was divided into 3 periods. During the first period, which belonged to machine learning phase and was finished in lab, subjects were asked to sit in front of the screen of Surface Pro about 0.5 meter. Under the training mode, copy mode, all the characters in the matrix would be identified one time. The user was instructed to focus his/her attention on a particular target and count the intensifications when the columns or the rows that contain the target character called the target intensification were flashed. Each row and column in the matrix was randomly intensified for 150 milliseconds and the interstimulus interval, ISI, was 200 milliseconds. For each character, the 7 columns and rows were repeatedly intensified 10 times. There was 1.3 second period between each character of a run. During this procedure, the classifier could be trained. At the second period, the online dialing system based on P300 was tested in lab. Subjects were asked to spell the cell phone number, 11 bits, and 1 confirmation bit free spell. Mode. The parameters were same with the training mode. The subjects underwent the experiment with highly concentration and were instructed to avoid any task-irrelevant movements, e.g., contraction of the muscles of the face/head, swallowing, eye blinks and eye movements, motion. During the third period, the same experiments were repeated in metro as in lab. Compared with lab, metro was a more realistic environment, with all kinds of unknown factors that could distract the users. The experiment in lab and metro were shown in Figure 3. Figure 3. The illustration of experiments in lab and metro. The left panel A illustrates the experiment in lab, the right panel B illustrates the experiment in metro. E. Data preprocessing and classification algorithms. The BCI in this study was based on the P300 speller 8, which enabled users to spell a serial of phone numbers. Because the signal-to-noise ratio, SNR, of EEG signals was very low, and moreover the recorded EEG signals might also contain muscular and ocular artifacts. The data preprocessing was necessary. There were many potential preprocessing methods have been used to handle the EEG problems. In this paper, the EEG data were first filtered by a 2-order Butterworth high-pass and low-pass filter. The cutoff frequencies were set to 0.1 Hz and 45 Hz respectively. Then, The average superposition theory was applied to improve the signal noise rate, SNR, enhancing the P300 evoked potential. Many classification techniques on data collected using the P300 speller paradigm had been investigated by Kruszyński, DJ, et al. 19. They included the linear methods, Pearson's correlation method, PCM, Fisher's linear discriminate, FLD, Bayesian linear discriminate, 20, stepwise linear discriminate analysis, SWLDA, 21, and a linear support vector machine, LSVM, and the nonlinear methods, neural networks and Gaussian kernel support vector machine, GSVM. It has been shown that SWLDA could provide the best performance and implementation characteristics for practical classification of P300 speller data, 19, so it was adopted in this paper.
We won't go through the rest of the document. There's another page attached with site sources and containing the algorithms and the voltage relays of what was going on. This is an older document already when they're site sourcing papers from 2012, 2013, 2008. So this has been in play for quite a long time. We're going 9 years back now. So the link to this document will be in the description box.